Dave Ramsey has helped millions of people get out of debt. But there's a point where his advice quietly stops working and starts keeping you stuck. Not broke, not failing, just never getting ahead. And if you don't see where that line is, you can follow his plan perfectly. Every baby step, every envelope, every paid-off car, and still never build real wealth. Now, before you close this video, I want to be clear. Dave Ramsey's baby steps are genuinely brilliant. Let's just be honest there. For millions, Dave is the literal life raft. If you're drowning in debt, his system works, period. But here's the problem. A life raft is designed to get you back to the shore. It is not designed to help you explore the deep ocean. Most people use Dave's plan to get their feet back on solid ground, and then they just stop. They stay on the shore because the very mindset that saved them from drowning, that survival mindset, has now become an invisible ceiling. The mindset that rescues you from the bottom is the exact same one that keeps you stuck in the middle. Today, I'm going to show you exactly where that ceiling is and how to break through it. Let's talk about the math of survival. This is Dave's world. The core logic is simple: eliminate all risk. Destroy all debt. Spend less than you earn. Repeat. Here's a real example. You have a $20,000 car loan at 3% interest. Dave says, attack it. Throw every extra dollar at it. Get it gone. Mathematically, you save about $1,800 in interest over the life of the loan. Psychologically, you feel incredible. Zero debt, a paid-off car, one less line item on your budget. Clean slate. But here's the question nobody asks. What was the opportunity cost? What happens to your financial life if you deploy that same capital somewhere else instead? The math of survival is optimized for one thing: not losing. And when you're in crisis, that's exactly what you need. But not losing and winning are two completely different games. Here's where it gets interesting. And this is the part that nobody talks about. When you spend 2, 3, 4 years in hyper-frugality mode, cutting subscriptions, clipping coupons, saying no to everything, living off rice and beans, beans and rice, your brain rewires. Psychologists call it scarcity mindset. And it's not a character flaw, it's a survival adaptation. Your brain becomes laser-focused on what you have and what you might lose. It's brilliant for getting out of debt, but it also makes you allergic to risk, even calculated asymmetric risk. Blind to opportunity. Your brain scans for threats, not openings. Addicted to paying things off, instead of building things up. You become a master of defense, and you mistake defense for progress. Dave Ramsey's final step, baby step 7, is literally build wealth and give. But he never really tells you how to build wealth. He says, mutual funds, 8% average returns, wait 30 years. So basically, you are spending months or even years stopping anything that could have been building wealth to start paying off debt instead. And then, when it is all said and done, you get back to building wealth from the beginning only to wait decades to see real wealth? That's not a wealth-building strategy. That's a waiting strategy. Now let's talk about the math of winning. And I want to use a specific example because this is where the gap becomes impossible to ignore. 2 people, same income, same $20,000 car loan at 3%. Both have $2,000 a month in disposable income. Person A follows Dave's plan, throws all $2,000 at the debt every month, debt-free in 10 months. Then goes back to building their emergency savings, then starts investing. Person B pays the minimum, $350 a month, takes the remaining $1,650 and spends 12 months building a digital asset, a YouTube channel, an Instagram theme page, a newsletter, a niche content site. Month 12, Person A, debt-free, cash flowing assets, $0. Person B, $350 extra interest paid, cash flowing asset, $2,000 to $5,000 per month. Person A optimized the liability side of their balance sheet, Person B built the asset side. Person A has clean debt. Person B has productive debt. One is a weight, the other is a battery. Which one is actually ahead? Wealth is built on the asset side, not the liability side. If you have a negative net worth of 5 to 6 figures because of debt, and you do not have much assets other than cash, you aren't worth much after the debt is eliminated. If you follow Dave's plan, you'll be worth at least $1,000 because of your starter emergency savings. You spent years of your life just to get back to zero. You didn't win the game. You just finally got allowed onto the field. This is the math of leverage. You're not ignoring debt. You're making the debt irrelevant by building something that dwarfs it. The wealthy don't think, how do I eliminate this liability? They think, how do I build an asset that makes this liability laughable? Because let's be honest here. I know you have heard the debt-free scream stories about a couple that was making like $34,432 a year in the beginning of their baby steps journey, and now they make $165,000 a year from their jobs. Let's be real. Most debt-free screams are just stories of people who finally started making $200,000 a year. Their budgeting didn't save them. Their income saved them. Do you ever realize how it's mostly couples with 6 figures and paid off their house and whatnot? What about a struggling single individual who barely can keep food on their table and cannot seem to get ahead, let alone pay their debt off? They need another option. They need to build something that runs in the background over time while they continue to work their jobs. They need an income-generating asset that not only gets them out of debt, but builds their net worth completely. Okay, here's the blueprint. 4 steps, no fluff. Step 1. Triage your debt like a doctor, not a monk. High-interest debt, anything above 7 or 8%. Credit cards, predatory loans. Dave is right. Attack it. Destroy it. It's a guaranteed negative return on your money. Low-interest debt. Car loans at 3%, student loans at 4%, mortgages at 5%? Pay the minimum. Full stop. Why? Because inflation alone is running close to that rate, and any asset you build will likely outperform it. Paying off a 3% loan aggressively isn't a financial strategy. Step 2. Pick one cash-flowing asset to build. Not 5, 1. I call this your leverage vehicle. And today, the barrier to entry has never been lower. YouTube/long-form content, compounding views, high CPM, brand deals, digital products. Newsletter/email list. Own your audience, monetize with sponsorships or your own offers. Niche service business. Trade skill for capital first, then systematize and scale. Digital products. Build once, sell forever, zero inventory. Small real estate. House hacking, short-term rentals, if you have the capital base. The vehicle matters less than the commitment. Pick one. Go deep. Give it 12 months of obsessive, consistent focus. I feel the need to mention that you should still make payments, at least the minimum, to stay current, because people want their money when you are in debt and will bother you relentlessly to get it. Use that as fuel to get your vehicle producing income as quickly as possible. The sooner you finish baby step 2, the more you can enjoy your fruit from the vehicle. This is not a reason to stop working on the baby steps. If you stop and go all in, you will end up quitting faster than you realize, because financial stress will just overwhelm you right back to the normal choice of working more hours and having 3 to 4 jobs to stay afloat and knock off debt. End result? Years of being on one baby step. Pure, unfiltered exhaustion with really nothing to show for it because all your money is going towards debt. You're in the same place you were before, just no debt and maybe more active income. Focus on what you can with your active income using a budget, but make sure you invest in your income-building asset because it is the key to truly building wealth long-term. Speaking of budgets, step 3. Restructure your entire budget around 2 columns. Defense. Minimum debt payments, 3-month emergency fund, essential living expenses. Offense. Asset building capital, 10 to 15 hours per week time investment, skill and tool budget. Your defense column keeps you stable. It's purely survival. Your offense column makes you wealthy. That is where your freedom lives. Most people only have a defense column. They call it a budget, and they wonder why they're not getting ahead. Dave Ramsey teaches you to build an incredible defense column. That's his genius. Use a zero-based budget. He even has a platform called Every Dollar. But he never teaches you to build an offense column. That's his blind spot. All that offense has to wait until you are out of debt and have 3 to 6 months of emergency savings. The last step isn't financial. It's psychological. Because after years of playing defense, your brain doesn't want you to stop. It wants safety. It wants certainty. It wants control. So when you spend $500 on a tool, a course, or anything that could build an asset, it feels wrong. It feels like you're going backwards, like you're breaking the rules. But you're not. You're switching games. You can't win a new game using the rules of the old one. Your brain says, that's $500 you could have used on debt. And you have to answer back, no. That's $500 I'm deploying into an asset that could return $5,000, $10,000, or more. That's not spending. That's planting. And yes, at first, it will feel like a mistake. No results, no feedback, no proof it's working. This is what I call the beginner's tax. You pay in time, effort, and uncertainty before you ever see a return. And this is the exact moment most people quit. This is where Dave Ramsey's student graduates. From saving money to deploying capital. Dave Ramsey's system is a ladder out of a hole. But once you're out of the hole, you have to put the ladder down. Because you can't climb a ladder and build a skyscraper at the same time. The baby steps are a great first step to financial wellness. The baby steps will save you, but they won't make you wealthy. Only you can do that by making the shift from the math of survival to the math of leverage. Stop playing not to lose. Start playing to win. Winning the game of finances is the only way to truly make your sense make sense. If this reframed how you think about money, share it with someone who's been following the baby steps for years and still feels stuck. They need to hear this. I wish you the best of luck on your financial journey. See you in the next one.